Okay, Grism, feel me now. Say something, I don't know. I'm feeling. Dude, you look like a Russian spy, dude.
This is one word. Or no, hold on. I want to be as 2 cents, not one word. 2 cents is better.
Okay, yeah, I'm still feeling.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Come on.
Come on, no, redo it.
You know what I'm gonna put in YouTube. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Yo. Totally ruined my name. My name's supposed to be 2 cents. But it's okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna smack you, Thiago.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
This is in response to Prophets Awaken, What is Soma Part 1. When I seen this footage at 2 minutes and 23 seconds, I was like, oh my god, that is amazing! Because of a theory known as the 6 epochs. 6 epochs start with light, becoming heavier into hydrogen, helium. Hydrogen, that's epoch 1, that transformation. Then hydrogen, helium making carbon to make life. RNA and DNA, viruses, bacteria, all the little things. That transition is epoch 2. Transition between bacteria and all that into cognitive aware, or I guess they don't have to be consciously aware. I don't know if animals have consciousness or if it's just all subconscious. Brains. And then these animals, these creatures start making technology, like birds make nests, beavers make dams, technology. They take the world around them and they give it another purpose. And then finally, where brains and technology merge, that's where we came in. We're like, oh hey, we know about brains. We're going to go ahead and combine the silicon of our devices, and the organic material of our brains. Not ours per se, rats. Right now, back in college, I was doing research on a guy. I'll give you all the information down below in a link. Who took the brain cell clusters, not a full brain, the brain cell clusters of rats, put them in a petri dish, and had them fly simulated planes. They would have different behaviors, and the axons, the nerve partitioning things of the cell, axons and dendrites and soma. All these materials would react to the electrical stimulus of the digital circuit. Which I find interesting that they call the game Soma, as it is a part. Stupid phone, shut up. I'm supposed to be waking up now. Anyway, I find it interesting that Soma is part of the nervous system. The game's called Soma, whatnot. And so going back to the game, when you're going through this, I feel like you're going through one of the epics, but not between 5 and 6, where brains meet technology and they merge. And the universe awakens, which is essentially the way that theory goes, more or less 3 and 4. That's right, between life, bacteria, and all those things, and the brains. 3 and 4. Meaning, it's not so much that you, as an individual, got this metal brain, but that your body, in a sense, became aware that you are a human. Think about that for a second. Think that you're sitting here watching me, and all of a sudden your fingers, your toes, they become aware of themselves. They grant you enhanced thinking, whether it's sectioned off or partitioned for memory, for broadband, like how much you could think at one time, your storage, which is memory that you remember of your past. First time what I meant with memory is like RAM in a computer, where it's everything that's real time. It's the here and the now, right? It's the little disk of consciousness that we have. Imagine your consciousness for a plant. No, okay, sorry. Imagine the consciousness for a plant is like a beam of light. It's like a beacon. Okay, it can accept the things that are going on with its environment. It cannot question it. Now, 2-dimensional consciousness would be like a disk, and you are now able to question what's going on. You have, like, hey, what are these things? Do I really have? And so purpose comes about because now you can question yourself. So the ability of God exists in a 2-dimensional consciousness. Now imagine if you didn't have fear and you didn't have these limitations and you could grow more. Imagine fear being like the gatekeeper to an elevated consciousness of like a sphere. So whereas the disc is inside the disc, there is you controlling your body, receiving all the stimulants from your skin and your eyes and your ears and all the thing that sends stimuli to your brain. You're not really a body. You're just this disc, this thing, this energy field between two hemispheres of your brain. And if you had the ability, the capacity, the area to interpret all that information, be okay with it, you wouldn't need to go through the simulation, right? But I think a two-dimensional consciousness would not be able to handle it. We would probably reject it. We would become afraid at our own mortality. We would become aware of our mortality on a much higher level, and so we would panic. We would freak out. We would need some kind of spiritual or technological or software-based guide. I think that's what this game is headed towards. And so with the spherical consciousness, we can accept that. We can be like, all right, cool, we have ascended or whatever, and we are now able to think at a much higher conscious level. We are more aware of ourselves, and ourselves are more aware of ourselves, our systems, and all the things that make up us. And in doing so, we realize that we are just kind of this mirror reflection of the universe. Blah, 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 blah. We can go really deep into it. I can go pretty deep into stuff, but I think what's going on is the player is going through the simulation to accept that you yourself are composed of all this stuff. And so when that time comes, if you ever have this great epiphany, which, I don't know, maybe sometime our species will, have this great epiphany that all this is going on and not freak out. Okay. And so before I was rudely interrupted by my phone, the thing I was trying to say and forgot I wanted to say, and the reason I was stalling for time, was because the game's called Soma. And I find that very interesting because Soma is the protective layer of the nerve cell. Okay, so think of the game as the simulation that is giving you a protective flavor of layers, a protective layer for your consciousness. It is creating a Soma, a field of protection between you and the other you. Okay, because if you think about it, there's the mind, which you have the subconscious and the conscious and all the other parts of the brain. They kind of are aware of themselves. You're aware that you have a face, but you're not aware of your lungs. Okay? Imagine all of a sudden you became aware that you were like 80% water. You would probably feel like you're dying. You'd panic, you'd freak out, and you'd be too sensitive to the matter, and you would be like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And that's probably why a lot of people, when they're really high, they're like, oh my god, the sound is too loud, my heart's racing, I think I'm gonna die. And so you start freaking out because it's something new, it's something alien, it's something potentially hostile, and you're told to do one of two things: fight or flight, and you can't really fight yourself. That's not an option. So you freak out, and you're stuck in this loop of freaking out. Soma, in this sense, would be a simulation to create an intangible, means you can't touch it. Like tangible means a touch. It's physical. It has a mass. It's not energy. It's not thought. It's not a wave. Intangible are things you can't touch, like thoughts, waves, lights. Guess in some cases you can touch pure energy. You can touch fire. You can get electrocuted. So that's why I find it interesting, because it is creating a Soma for you. And you are now getting a layer of protection against all these hostilities. You are able to find an out for fear, whether you counteract the signal or the vibration, which I think, since we are made of 4 bonds, we have 4 basic emotions, which is fear, love, hate, and courage. Now, fear and courage are opposites to each other, just like love and hate. A binary computer system would not be able to understand that. It would be like, you exist or you don't exist. You are a signal or you are not a signal. You are good or you are bad. You can be this and you can be that. But, you know, that's because it's a binary signal. And we've been able to express so many things with, you know, an on or off. We can have if then else's. Like, if this, then that. If not this, then we do this, which is an if then else. You can have loops, and you can do this while this is happening, and so you can have all of the functionality of what a plant has. But you don't have this ability to have to question its purpose. follow a program. Now, questioning its purpose, that needs some type of soma or protective layer that our bodies have not yet made. Our mind has, kind of told us, be afraid of this thing, don't be afraid of that. Okay? But when it came to the point of our psyche becoming aware, greater awareness of like another dimension again, if you were to think about it, if you went into heaven, like the biblical heaven, not the heavens like astronomy, and you're like, oh my god, this is so blissful and amazing, and then all of a sudden you're exposed to hell. It's a very hostile, freaky environment, and it'd be to the point where you would have some negative reactions. So, yeah, that's my 2 bits on that. I can't wait for the game. I'm just stoked. I seen it, and I automatically had to make a video about it because I was that excited. Ergo, I didn't do my hair, and now I'm wearing a beanie, so you don't see my fucked up hair. Alright, let's see where this goes. I totally love Frictional games. They are amazing. Outros, they fail. I'm just not creative today. Too logical. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Brasilero. It's 2 cents. Expression is the unlimited fabric for creation. Personal expression. Oh yeah, I just said expression twice.
Oh snap. Okay. Okay, start again. Okay, say something else. Tell the Brazilians about Cruz Mangai, Chris. Chris. Okay. You look like a puppet.